and welcome. I am Dr. Precious Ebule, and I'm the managing attorney of Apex Chambers, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Apex Chambers is a property, real estate, and commercial law firm situated in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Now, today I would like to discuss with you the steps that are involved in due diligence when acquiring property or real estate. Now, let us begin with what due diligence means. Due diligence is the full investigation of the ownership or other issues surrounding a property you are interested in acquiring or leasing. And like we always say, it is very important that when you want to acquire a property, when you want to buy land or a house or building or indeed anything at all, it is always important that you make proper findings. Now, the focus of this discussion will be those steps that will be taken to ensure that your interests, your property interests, are fully protected. Firstly, if you want to acquire a property, a land, or a building, or a house, the first thing you're expected to do to protect your interests is to review the property documents. You take the vendor's documents of ownership and look at them thoroughly. Find out if truly that property belongs to the vendor as he has claimed. Now, also look at the nature of interests that the vendor owns in that property. Some persons may just be persons who have leased out a property and then they want to sell. You cannot sell a property that has been only leased out to you. So you review the document from the name, confirm that the name on the document, who is the vendor or the purchaser, tallies with the other claims made. You look at the location of the property, ensure that the location stated in the survey plan tallies with what is on the ground. Okay? And then there are a lot of other things that you have to do by way of reviewing property documents. Of course, you know, before you can proceed with any land transaction or property or a building transaction by way of sale or purchase, you have to ask for the documents of ownership from the person who claims to own the property, and then you review them to be sure that they are correct and they are not buying a land dispute. Now, the second thing you're expected to do as an investor in property or real estate, or as a buyer, is to do search. There are different kinds of search, but the first search you're expected to do is the local search. The local search is the land that you do at the location where the land is. There are persons who are in a better position to know the true state of things as it relates to that property. There are persons we are talking about by way of search. We are talking about the boundary neighbors. We are talking about the supposed vendors to this your vendor. Then we are talking about community leaders. We are talking about persons who are actually in a very good position to know things, facts relating to the ownership or disputes surrounding this property that you are interested in. As we always say, don't be in a very big rush or hurry to buy a property without making the proper findings. Then you are also expected, other than the review of documents and the local search, you are expected to do a full search at the lands ministry. This one involves going to the Ministry of Lands and Survey in the state where the property is located and making a full search to confirm the government interest in that property, to confirm the designation of that area for any particular use or any restriction of use by the government, to confirm if there is any acquisition issues or any other impediments to your interest in that property. And then of course there are a lot of other issues that you should be looking out for. Then at this stage, it is always advisable for us to tell you that you are not to do all this by yourself, because you may not have the requisite knowledge to be able to maneuver or navigate these due diligence matters. Now you should always remember that when you don't buy a property the rightful way, then you have bought nothing. We always advise our clients, and indeed every person who is interested in acquiring property or investing in any property, to secure yourself, secure your interest, engage a very qualified and experienced property and real estate lawyer to guide you. Now, some of the documents you'll be encountering is because of the review, or in fact all of it are legal documents. And who is best suited to review legal documents? Of course, a very qualified property and real estate lawyer. So endeavor, firstly, not to do this due diligence by yourself, and secondly, always ensure that you take the advice of your property and real estate lawyer, so that you don't run into issues. Land issues are really very difficult to solve, and that is why at Apex Chambers Property and Real Estate Lawyers we always advise that you take precautionary measures to ensure that you avoid these legal issues even before they arise. Thank you and have a very pleasant weekend.